extraordinary dedication. To capture the private life of penguins, cameraman Wade and his partner Frederic would spend a year in Antarctica with only 20,000 emperors as neighbours.
Well, as you can probably see, we've got a bit of weather. Somewhere behind me is the birds. Every now and then, when the snow kind of clears, you can just catch a glimpse of them. Or because they'll all be huddled in tight, that's where what I would rather be. So we'll go over and have a look. Cold out here, cold and windy.
In fact, it was minus 50 degrees centigrade, and the winds were close to hurricane force. Wade had waited 6 months for this chance to film the penguin huddle, but the extreme cold soon took its toll.
Well, it's really frustrating. It takes so much effort to film in these sort of blizzard conditions. I mean, just to get here, and I had a pretty good run there, but the camera's just jammed, film's jammed. There's nothing I can do about it out here. There's just no way.
Wade was forced to retreat to the relative comfort of the hut, leaving the penguins out in the cold.
I was just lying in bed thinking about those penguins and all the males will be huddled together, and how they can possibly survive in this sort of weather is just absolutely extraordinary. And I really feel quite sorry for them at this moment.
With the camera fixed, Wade set off again the next day, but the storm was even worse. The 100-mile-per-hour winds forced Wade onto his knees as he struggled to haul the weight of the camera. The 2-mile walk to the colony now became an epic struggle. It's hard to imagine a more brutal challenge for a natural history cameraman. Wade's extraordinary endurance finally delivered remarkable images of penguins braving the worst winter on the planet. These are scenes that few humans have ever witnessed. In sharing the ordeal with the emperors, Wade and Fred developed a deep bond with their penguin neighbours. 2 months on, and the colony is bustling with new life. But there was trouble for one young chick.
We saw a chick's head sticking out of the snow, and we just realized it's been trapped in a hole as the snow just surrounded him. So, like during the last blizzard, he must have been there for a few days. So we're gonna try to get him out. Don't be scared, chicken. I'm gonna cut the snow.
Without help, this youngster would soon have starved. Natural history film crews do not normally interfere with the course of nature, but having shared the penguin's 6-month struggle for survival, it was impossible for Fred to just sit back. The chick's mother looked on helplessly.
Come here. Yeah, grab my hand. Grab my hand. No, I don't want to break this. That's a calm chicken. There you go.
Luckily, the chick was none the worse for its experience.
As soon as the chick got out, it bounced with his parent again, and he straight away got a feed, so that's really good.
Thanks to the remarkable efforts of its parents, and with just a little help from its human neighbours, this chick has a bright future. For one of our Arctic filming crews, visits from the neighbours were to prove less welcome. polar bears are extremely dangerous, and given the chance will kill and eat humans. Drawn by the smell of Doug's home cooking, this male bear seems particularly fearless. Jason fires blanks to scare it away.
Was that him?
It was him. Should walk towards him, check the window.
Where do you think he's going? Well, I'm not sure.
Day one.
Day one, bear outside the cabin.
Chewing on a generator cable will hardly satisfy the appetite of the world's largest land carnivore. He was after something more substantial.
This is just a bit of a problem when we get bears as close as this to the cabin.
He's a big boy.
As the day went on, it became clear that this was one very determined bear. Explosive charges known as bear scarers are the polite way to persuade him to leave.
Come on, go. Give him another one, he wasn't too bothered about that. Got a pistol?
They had to resort to a bigger bang, a thunder flash fired from a pistol. But this bear is his own boss and will leave when ready.
Quite exciting, really.
The crew were not here to film hungry male bears. They were after females and cubs emerging from their winter dens. But to find them, they had to leave the safety of the hut and enter the bear's domain. Planet Earth had been given special permission to film on this remote Norwegian island, the first human visitors for 25 years. Motorized vehicles are prohibited in this fragile environment, so the crew had to do things the old-fashioned way.
When the polar explorers used to haul their gear like this, they used to have names for their sledges. Things like Intrepid and Braveheart. I'm going to call mine the Awkward Heavy Object.
Doug's sledge seemed determined to live up to its name.
Oh no! Oh no!
Isolated and on foot, the crew were vulnerable at all times, and with so many male bears out on the sea ice, Doug had to keep his wits about him.
Where's the batteries?
Females den on steep slopes, but predicting where they would emerge was proving a real challenge. After weeks of searching, the crew finally got lucky.
This is fantastic. She's out on the slopes. Four weeks we've been waiting to get this one opportunity. But now that it's happening, it's just fantastic.
Close behind the mother bear, her tiny 8-week-old cubs. With the sequence in the can, the crew were able to relax, but not for long.
I don't know. I thought I heard something.
This bear is much too close for comfort.
This guy.
A reminder that we are only visitors in the polar bear's world.
Yeah, go outside and get you good. Oh, hang on, Doug, he's going back that way.